What's up, folks? It's your bro Richard again. Today in this video, I'm back with another Gran Turismo gaming explanation video for all. Today in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the next Gran Turismo game, which is Gran Turismo 4. So before I start, make sure you all like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so that when I make pretty uploads. Alright, so without any further ado, let's begin. So Gran Turismo 4 2004. Here we go. So Gran Turismo 4 is a 2004 racing simulation video game developed by Polyphony Digital and published. So by Polyphony Digital, so developed by Polyphony Digital and published by Sony Computer Entertainment for the PS2, is the fourth main installment. So fourth main installment, and the sixth overall in the GT series. It was released on December 28th, 2004 in Japan and Hong Kong, February 22nd, 2005 in North America, and March 9th, 2005 in Europe, and has since been reissued under Sony's Greatest Hits brand. So developers is Polyphony Digital, publisher Sony Computer Entertainment, director and producer is Kazunori Yamauchi, artist Hiroki Imanishi, composer is Masahiro Ando and Isamu Ohira, series is Gran Turismo, platform is PS2, releases next in Japan was released December 28th, 2004. In North America it was released in 2005, and in Europe. So in both North America and Europe was released in 2005, North America February 22nd, and Europe March 9th. Genre is racing simulation, and modes is both single player and multiplayer. So it was released, so GT4 is a 2004 racing sim video game developed by Sony's Greatest Hits brand. So originally planned for its 2003 release, GT4 was delayed for over a year and a half by Pony and and half by Polyphony Digital, and had its online mode removed. The game features over 721 cars. So the game features over 721 cars from 80 manufacturers, from as early as the 1886 Daimler Motor, so 1886 DMC, so Daimler Motor, Daimler Motor Carriage, and as far into the future as concepts for 2022, the game also features 51 tracks, many of which are new or modified versions of old GT tracks, with some notable real-world additions. GT4 was well received critically and a commercial success, being one of the highest-selling games of 2005 and the third best-selling game of the PS2. The Chinese, Japanese, and South Korean releases of the game were bundled with a 212-page driving guide and lessons on the physics of racing. A PSP enhanced port entitled Gran Turismo Mobile, or GT Mobile as we call it, was originally planned for development, but was later renamed to Gran Turismo, which was later renamed to Gran Turismo, which was released October 1st, 2009. So start of October 2009. Now got gameplay. Players accumulate points by winning races in the normal first-person driving mode. So in the normal first-person driving mode, called A-Spec mode. Each race event can yield up to a maximum of 200 cars not cards, 200 A-spec points. So A-spec points. So A-spec points. Generally, when using a car with less, so generally, when using a car with less or an average. Generally, a win using a car with less or an advantage over the AI opponents is worth more points. So generally, a win using a car with less of an average over the AI opponents is worth more points. Points can only be won. So points can only be won once. So points can only be won once. So to win further points, from a previously won event, it must be re-won using a car with less of an average, less of an advantage over the AI. There are also 34 driving missions, which yield 250 points each. Despite this, A-spec points are experience points as opposed to currency. The new B-spec mode, so B-spec mode puts players in the place of a racing crew chief, telling the driver how aggressively to drive, when to pass, and mandating pit stops by monitoring both tire wear, and fuel level. The speed of the time in a race can be increased up to 3 times, allowing for endurance races to be completed in less time than would take in A-spec mode. The 3x, or the 3-time feature, there we go, however, must be turned on after every pit stop because it resets to normal time. The gaming manual says that the player may speed up B-spec mode by up to 5 times. But this is believed to be a typo. B-spec points are given out for each race completed in B-spec mode. This increases the skill level of the AI driver in the categories of vehicle skill, vehicle, course, and battle skill. So all 3 skills. Players can thereby use B-spec mode in harder races as the game progresses, but this mode cannot be used on the rain, dirt, or cannot be used on the rain, dirt, and snow courses. Another new addition to the game is the driving missions, which are similar in experience to the license tests, but award successful completion with 250 A-spec points. So 250 A-spec points and 1,000 or more credits. Each mission takes place with a given car on a given track or section of track and a given set of opponents. There are 4 sets of missions. The pass, in which the driver must overtake an opponent within a certain distance. 3-lap battle, in which the driver must pass 5 opponents over the course of 3 laps. Slipstream battle, in which the driver must overtake identical opponents by way of drafting, and 1-lap magic, in which the driver starts with a significant time penalty against much slower opponents and must overtake them all in the space of a single lap. Completing each set of missions earns the player a prize card. A new photo mode is included in the game, which allows the player to control a virtual camera taking pictures of the cars on the track or at specific locations, including the Grand Canyon. This game is able to produce a selection of screenshots with variable compression rates, normal, fine, and superfine, and size up to 1280 by 960 72 dpi, and the user can choose to save or print to a supported USB device. Compared with GT3 A-spec, graphics are generally improved with more detail on cars and tracks, despite running on the same PS2 hardware. The physics are also greatly improved with a major upgrade that cars now experience body movements such as pitching, back and forth rolling, onto braking. Barriers have considerably more friction to slow down the cars in GT4. So barriers have considerably more friction to slow down the cars in GT4 in an attempt to stop the use of wall riding. It's like scraping on the wall whilst driving. But there is minimal friction between cars, so the advantage obtained by running into the side of another car instead of braking is still present. Each of both the driving missions and special conditions events give a 5-second penalty for hitting the walls or opponents' cars in this way, where the car's speeds are restricted to 31 miles an hour until the timer disappears when it reaches 0. Now look at the alternate versions. So alternate versions, starting off with the Prologue. GT4 Prologue or Goran Tsorisomo o Purorogyu, I can't pronounce it in Japanese, is a 2003 racing sim game developed by Polyphony Digital and published by Sony Computer Entertainment, or SCE, for the PS2. It's the 5th overall installment in the GT series. It was released on December 4th, 2003 in both Japan and Southeast Asia. And May 26, 2004 in Europe for undisclosed reasons. The game wasn't released. It wasn't released in the North American market. However, a demo disc featuring both a Toyota Prius, and a Toyota MTRC concept car was available in the US, either by requesting a Toyota Prius brochure online or by attending the Toyota stand at the 2004 New York International Auto Show. That features GT4 Prologue branding on the title screen. This short version title preceded the release of the full-length version GT4 in 2004 and was followed by GT5 Prologue in 2007. In Japan, a limited signature edition featuring the signature of the series producer Kazunori Yamauchi on the front cover pack preceded the release of the regular edition. The regular edition was also bundled with a white ceramic PS2 console and a Christmas loaded SKU called PlayStation Racing Pack, released in Japan on October 13th, 2002. SKU stands for Stock Keeping Unit. In Europe, the game was bundled with a promotional making of DVD video. While intended to be limited content, the DVD video was also included in the Platinum re-release. The DVD was later included in the limited GT4 special DVD set, released in Japan on June 28, 2004. The regular edition was discontinued, and the game was reissued under Sony's Greatest Hits line. In Japan, PS2 is the best. On August 5th, 2004. In Europe, Platinum, as GT4 was intended to be released in time for the worldwide 2002-2003 Christmas release, but was delayed in cancellation. Polyphony brought out GT4 Prologue as a sneak preview, including a documentary bonus disc in Europe to the full experience of GT4. Though it was necessary to limit the number of cars and courses included, this product still included some of the main features of the GT franchise, such as races, time attacks, and license tests. The sneak peek also expressed the latest tech Polyphony Digital had accumulated over the past 2 years, featuring 50 of GT4's then planned 500 cars, as well as 5 courses. This expanded demo was designed as a stopgap until the complete version was released. The game includes a driving school, license tests, as well as early versions of some circuits, like the New York track, which was modified in the full version, a new GT official steering wheel, the DFP, so in Driving Force Pro, known as GT Force Pro, in Japan and supporting force feedback, was released by Logitech, which was known as Logicool in Japan. tech, they put the word cool into it. So Logic Cool in Japan instead of Logitech. So instead of Logitech in both America and Europe. To coincide with the GT4 Prologue launch date, the Euro version came with several extra cards. Most of them cards unveiled at the 2004 Geneva Motor Show or Genève's Autoestade. Such as the BMW Concept M5 and the aforementioned Toyota MTRC. GT4 Prologue has sold 1.4 million copies since its release. Now I got the online version. My lord, holy mother of God, Lord. There's so much for oh my god, so much for this. So GT4 Prologue is a 2003 racing sim game developed by Polyphony Digital and hold on. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Now I got the online version. So I got Gran Turismo 4 GT4 online GT4 online test version. So GT4 online test version. So GT4 online test version is a free 2006 PS2 game by Polyphony Digital. This is a limited edition of the 2004-2005 racing game featuring extra GT4 featuring extra online services that were removed from the original game due to some issues and a lack of time as the game had been delayed several times. Selecting the extra online modes. So online mode leads to the online home mode that features additional gaming modes like quick race, tuned car race, private race that requires a password. And time attack. News inform about the availability for the online course, both the online courses or special events with both a limited date and time. Public online services ended on September 1st, 2006. This public beta for GT4 Online was freely shipped to 4,700 selected GranTurismo.com members from Japan and 300 from South Korea to collaborate as test players. Online services lasted 3 months from June 1st to September 1st, 2006, and included 6-player competition, time trial, chat, mail message, and it's got like email, message, and microphone communication, and an internet ranking chart was available in the game's website. Nowadays, it's possible to play online again with alternate private servers. This test wasn't intended to precede a GT4 Online full-scale release, but instead to be used as a way to develop and test online features and structures for the upcoming GT5 on the PS3 system, which came out in 2013. Besides the 5,000 test players, 7 special guests were invited to test GT4 Online. First, a special event named Top Racer Battle was staged in the Polyphony Digital headquarters on August 17th. Six drivers from the JGTC, Japanese Grand Touring Championship, JGTC Japanese Championship, entered the game's online multiplayer competition mode. Motoyama won the test round, a 5-lap Fuji Speedway 2005 race with the drivers' respective JGTC GT500 cars. The actual top racer battle, though, a 10-lap Tsukuba circuit 1-make race. So 10-lap Tsukuba circuit 1-make race on board a Mazda Roadster 1600 NRA from 2004 was won by Ryo Michigami, later from August 25th to September 5th, 2006. Kazunori Yamauchi, the GT series producer, reinvited both two Japanese and two European, or two Japanese and two Euro Pro Racing drivers, or Euro Pro Racers, sponsored by PlayStation to enter GT40Ls, or GT40Ls, Time Attack mode, internet ranking chart, and either to challenge him or another guest in a versus race, either to compete with 5 test drivers in an 8 to 10 rounds multiplayer online competition called Trophy. The first guest was Super GT GT500 Nissan Moto Pitwork Z driver Satoshi Motoyama Top Racer Battle Challenger. He entered the dedicated Motoyama Trophy, a 2-lap 10 races online multiplayer competition, and won 3 rounds. The second guest specially came from France. Sébastien Loeb. Yeah, my French is a bit weak. Le Mans 2005. So 2005 PlayStation Pescarolo C60 Judd LMP race car 2004 driver, and WRC champion, so World Rally Championship champion, so WRC champion. He set a new time attack internet record on the 24 hours of Le Mans Circuit de la Sarthe. Loeb special attack and defeated Kazunori Yamauchi in their Pescarolo online time attack duel. On the same circuit, internet rank 10th versus 11th. The last guests were both top racer battle challengers. One is Ryo Michigami, Super GT500 Honda Takata Dome NSX driver. The other is Michael Krum, GT500 Nissan Moto Pitwork Z driver. They competed with each other in a versus battle, then entered a special trophy similar to Motoyama's. A separate online testing campaign, GT4 Online Public Beta, was also held in North America in 2006 for the now defunct PlayStation Gamer adversary panel members. With the same intention and features as the Japanese online test. Now we got reception. Alright, next up is reception. So, GT4 received generally favorable reviews according to review aggregator Metacritic. So we got the score first. So for Metacritic it was 89%. Then we got the review score. So for Edge 70%, Eurogamer 80, Famitsu 39 out of 40, Game Informer 92.5%, GamePro 90, Game Revolution B+, don't know why, GameSpot 89, GameSpy 90, GameZone 97, IGN 95, Official US PlayStation Magazine 100, Detroit Free Press 75, and Maxim 100%. So Maxim Steam 100%. Now get the award. We got Publication and Award, Game Critics Awards, Best Racing Game of 2003. So, GT4 received generally favorable reviews according to review aggregator Metacritic. Jeremy Clarkson, host of the original Top Gear TV program, performed a head-to-head test of real life versus GT4 on an episode of the program. He ran Laguna Seca Raceway in real life in Monterey, California, and used an Acura NSX for a lap time of 1 minute 57. But in the game, he used a Honda NSX-R, which is lighter, with a lap time of 1 minute 41.148 seconds. Not bad. 1 minute 41 seconds. Clarkson also had to be shown by a race driving instructor where the line was between both the game and reality. He pointed out that adjusting one's braking mid-turn in a real car could cause loss of control, and also mentioned that in the game he's compelled to taking bigger risks than he would in real life, and that in the game the car didn't suffer from brake fade. Despite the apparent discrepancies in a column for the Sunday Times, Clarkson gave the game a score of 3 stars out of 5. So it was 60%. It had this to say about it: I called Sony and asked it to send me a game chip already loaded with 700 computer cards, and I am in a position to test out its claims because, unlike most people, I really have driven almost all of them in real life. There are mistakes. The BMW M3 CSL, for instance, brakes much better on the road than it does on a screen, and there's no way a Peugeot 106 could out-drag a Fiat Punto off the line. But other than this, I'm struggling. They've even managed to accurately reflect the differences between a Mercedes SL600 and the SL55, which is hard enough to do in real life. There's more, too. So, if you take a banked curve in the Bentley Le Mans car, flat out, you'll be fine. If you back off even a little bit, you lose the aerodynamic grip and end up spinning. That's how it is. This game would only be more real if a big spike shot out of the screen and skewered your head every time you crashed. In fact, that's the only real drawback. That you can hit the barriers hard without even damaging you or your car. Maybe they're saying that for GT5, perhaps it'll be called Death or Glory. Carl Brower of Edmunds.com performed a similar test, also at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca in Monterey, California, in which he and two others, pro race driver AJ Allmendinger, or whatever you call it, and IGN gaming editor Justin Kahler, spelled Kaehler, say Kaehler. Set times in both GT4 and real life in a variety of cars. Brower's best time in a Ford GT in the game was 1 minute 38, and his best time on the real track was 1 minute 52. In the 4 cars the trio tested, none was able to duplicate his game times on the real track. it's much easier on the game, but in real life it is quite tough. Brower suggested the main differences between the game and reality, which brings up the single biggest difference between reality and virtual reality: consequences. A mistake on GT4 cost me nothing more than a bad lap time. A mistake with a real exotic car on a real racetrack is a bit more costly. The other major difference between virtual racing and the real thing is feedback from the car, or an almost total lack thereof. Yes, the force feedback steering wheel does its best to let you know when you're veering off the track or sliding the rear end, but none of this comes close to the kind of info you'll get while driving a real car, and in a car like the Ford GT, that's vital info. Many reviewers criticize the game for its continued lack of rendering damage instead of actual damage to the cars. Many reviewers criticize the game for its continued lack of rendered damage instead of actual damage. The cars, depending on both the speed and angle in which the collision occurred, simply either bounce or spin off of the car, wall, or obstacle. Reviewers complained of the continued ability to take unrealistic shortcuts, such as the ones on Fuji Speedway 90s, Driving Park, Beginner Course, and Circuit de la Sarthe 1, or the driver, or Circuit de la Sarthe I, or whatever you call it, where the driver can cut right across the chicane, allowing a player to win by cheating. One reviewer also complained that the game's cars don't have enough grip. The game has also been criticized for lack of online play, which had been promised during early development but was announced as being removed at the time of release. Many reviewers expressed disappointment in the game's AI system, so artificial intelligence system, noting that virtual racers will follow their driving line with little concern for where the human drivers at any one time. This is more evident during both rally races and missions, in which a 5-second speed penalty is given for hitting the other cars, either that or the barriers, regardless of who initiated the contact. Some critics found B-Spec mode to offer little to the overall experience. Non-video game publications made some positive reception too. Sean Cunningham of Maxim gave the game a perfect 10 and asked, "Is GT4 more finish than game? Probably. But if this is a finish, then put a leather hood on us and whip us till we bleed." Kind of cruel, but I don't know. Jason Hill of the Sydney Morning Herald gave it all 5 stars and stated that the game's biggest strength is the realistic handling. You feel every nuance of the car's movements, weight shifts, and suspension, particularly with a Driving Force Pro steering wheel. There's a peerless driving simulation that'll test even pro drivers. Charles Harold of the New York Times gave it a positive review and stated that while the game aims for realism, it occasionally falls short. Competitors drive like mindless automatons, seemingly unaware of your existence. Cars can take endless amounts of damage, allowing you to control your turns by bouncing off other cars like a pinball. If a track doesn't have walls, like what's set in the Grand Canyon, then an invisible barrier prevents you from going off track. However, Jim Schaefer gave CHAEFER of Detroit, of Detroit. Free Press, not Free Press, Detroit Free Press gave it 3 stars out of 4, so 75%. Not bad. And stated that GT mode does a great job of organizing your choices on a large home map. You can leave your garage to race or jump over to OG Elite, new and used rides at both domestic and foreign dealerships, like both domestic and import. So domestic and import dealerships take on both special challenges. So both take on special challenges and buy parts upgrades. Now I got awards. So the awards, there was only 2. It was awarded at E3 2003 Game Critics Awards as Best Racing Game, and at IGN, so IGN, 5th best PS2 game of all time. Last but certainly not the very least, we got is sales. By February 2005, I think before or after Valentine's Day, GT4 had sold more than 1 million units in Japan. By March 2005, a month later, GT4 had sold over 6 million units worldwide. It received a double platinum sales award from the Entertainment and Leisure Software Publishers Association, so ELSPA, so Entertainment and Leisure Software Publishers Association, indicating sales of at least 600,000 copies. In the UK, it sold more than 611,000 units in the UK by December 2005, the month and year I was born. I think it was before or after I was born, I don't really know. By March 2016, GT4 had shipped 1.27 million, so 1,270,000 copies in Japan, 3.47 million, so 3,470,000 in North America, 6.83 million, 6,813, so 6,800, so 6,830,000 in Europe, and 180,000 in Asia. That includes Japan, China, the Philippines, Thailand, all that kind of stuff. Indonesia as well, all that kind of stuff. And it's at 180,000 in Asia for a total of 11.76, so 11.76 million copies, which is 11,760,000 copies. Last part in order there. It's the third highest selling game in the GT franchise, ahead of the original GT, but behind GT5 and GT3 A-Spec. Alright, so that is it, guys. So if you guys like this video, like and subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so you'll learn I'm gonna make brand new uploads. Alright. So that'll be it. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. But until then, stay safe, have a great evening, and have a great day tomorrow morning. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So take care, folks. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.